She is the older of the two dolphins. They're both females because this coming towards me now is Hannah. Now, Helen is the older of the two. She's in her mid-20s, whereas Hannah is the younger. She's in her late teens. It's true. And they are certainly an incredible species with some very unique coloration that you might have noticed along their top and sides. This species, they're known as Pacific white-sided dolphins. And they are, of course, not the only species found here off of our coast. Some of them very aggressive, yes, birds or even gulls off of our coast as well. But of course, gulls aren't the traditional predator of a Pacific white-sided dolphin, but they do have some predators here off the coast of BC, as they're not the only dolphin species found here. You can also find killer whales or orcas off of our coast, and yes, they are a dolphin species. And there is a type of killer whale known as an orca, or rather a transient killer whale, that can provide a bit of a threat to these dolphins. However, those strong and powerful tails give them the opportunity to escape from any of those predators. But sometimes even leaps and acrobatics can help speed up their route of escape. So definitely these dolphins are pretty incredible, and sometimes we might see those different leaps and acrobatics off of our coast. In fact, just today, somebody told me that they had been on a ferry just yesterday by Horseshoe Bay and spotted a group of about 40 or 50 of these Pacific white-sided dolphins right from the ferry. So it is possible to see these guys off of our coast. And that's certainly why throughout this training session here you might see Adria practicing a lot of those bigger, higher energy behaviors, because we certainly like to replicate here what we would naturally see of these dolphins off the coast of British Columbia. But not only that, practicing these leaps and acrobatics and aerials is an important part of keeping Helen and Hannah healthy, and that is a very important thing to us. Because you see, just as all of us need exercise, so do these dolphins. And those aerials go a long way to ensuring that they stay nice and healthy. But we might like to make sure that we're challenging these dolphins not just on a physical level, but on a mental level as well. There's a wide variety of different kinds of behaviors that our trainers practice and train at any given point in time. And some of these can be quite complex, have lots of sort of working parts. For example, remembering to come up along the side of the dock in a particular behavior, spinning in a particular sort of pattern. There's lots to remember to these sorts of things. It helps challenge them on all levels. But of course, a very, very important aspect of as well as keeping these dolphins as healthy as possible is healthcare. Healthcare behaviors or husbandry are the most important kind of behaviors any of our animals learn here. And it's even something as simple as what we're seeing from Helen and Hannah right now, just showing off their tummies. Now that might not seem like a lot, but it's incredibly important to Adria, so she can really look at their tummies, their backs, their sides, see if there's any new nicks, cuts, scratches, bumps that she needs to be aware of. She can also take, in positions like these, take a good look at the blowhole. If they're on their side, take a good look at their eyes, make sure they're clear and well. And if at the first sign of anything, we can call our on-staff veterinarian to take a closer look. And if that veterinarian would like a closer look by means of, say, a blood sample, well, Adria can ask for something exactly like this. So Helen and Hannah are presenting their tail flukes right now, which doesn't seem like a lot, but this is exactly how we ask for blood samples from these dolphins. And that might seem strange, because if any of you have ever had your blood taken, where did that blood get taken from? The crook of your elbow, absolutely. But along these tail flukes here, that's where the blood vessels are closest to the surface. So it's really very easy to take those blood samples, which we do on a regular basis to ensure that they're healthy inside and out. But we can also ask for urine samples, stool samples, even samples from their blowhole as well. And that's so incredibly important to keeping them healthy. But we also like to try and ensure that other dolphins found off the coast of British Columbia and across the Pacific Northwest are healthy as well. And unfortunately, a number of dolphins end up entangled in fishing nets. Some estimates are as high as 800 whales, dolphins, and porpoises stuck in fishing nets every single day. And that's a huge
City
number.
hindi
It's
pa
not to come about
pasaran
accidentally, probably because those dolphins happen to be swimming around the fish that fishing nets are targeting. And of course that is unfortunate, and in fact that's even how Helen and Hannah came to be here at the Vancouver Aquarium. In fact, you might notice some scarring, particularly on Helen here. They do bear scars of those past experiences of where they were entangled in those fixed fishing nets. Due to their injuries and experiences, they have come to find a permanent home here at the Wild Coast, and it certainly looks as if they've recovered very well. They're looking very healthy today. But it's due to those injuries and experiences that they were deemed to be non-releasable. So that's why we work so hard to make sure that they are healthy inside and out, but also to try and make sure that the same thing doesn't happen to other speedy Pacific white-sided dolphins. After all, Helen and Hannah being here gives us the opportunity to do research. And that research is a very important aspect of helping to try and protect dolphins. In fact, Helen and Hannah are currently helping us out with a research study aimed at better understanding dolphin echolocation, that kind of animal sonar, to see why dolphins get entangled in nets in the first place and how we can even try and prevent that. For example, as part of this research, we can use gelatinous eye cups to cover both of their eyes. And Adria, while their eyes are covered, can ask them to retrieve objects while their eyes are covered. Now, they do a pretty good job of it while they can see. But, of course, they do the same excellent job when those eyes are covered as well. It again shows us just how well that echolocation works. But we can also study and see where it might be going wrong, so we can try and prevent other dolphins from being entangled in those fishing nets. Now, a very important part of achieving all of this training is for Adria to build up a relationship with both Helen and Hannah. By getting to know them as individuals, she can really tailor a training program towards them. And that's what really makes it so successful and allows her to accomplish all the different kinds of behaviors we're seeing here today. Those behaviors that are associated with research, with healthcare and husbandry. And we're starting to get an idea today of some of the different things that could potentially make things a little bit difficult around here. But of course, there's a lot of things that we've been able to train to keep these dolphins healthy. And again, that relationship is a huge part and so important to us because of those histories. So of course, we'd just like to take a moment to say thank you to all of you here for joining us at the Vancouver Aquarium. Because we're a nonprofit, you've helped to support research and conservation programs like that iCup research that help us to protect the noisy dolphins found here off our coast. Pretty impressive. Let's give them a round of applause. I think you're going to want to applaud them again in a moment.